do something with your marketing. Let's talk about 3 things you should be doing to maintain the health of your email marketing list. Email marketing is, of course, the most valuable channel for reaching out to people because you own it. You own your email list. As long as you continue to pay your bills and email continues to function, you have a way to get out to people that is not reliant on a third party. Whereas, for example, your Facebook page, you don't really own that. I mean, you may do stuff with it, and it may have your logo on it, but at the end of the day, Facebook owns it. You own your email list. However, email lists tend to go bad over time. One of the things that has been known to happen in staff in the email marketing industry is that on average, about anywhere from 20 to 30% of your list can go bad every single year. So make sure that you're maintaining your list, that you're keeping it healthy. Now, let's talk about some of the ways you can do this. The first thing to do is to make sure that you don't get crap on your list. And so things like having a box where someone has to confirm their email address is important for getting that email list clean as possible. A single typo could give you just some bad addresses. Another thing you can do on the back end is send a confirmation email so that you'll know immediately, yep, that address worked or that address did not work. The next thing you want to do is take a look at your deliverability metrics. Depending on what email service provider you use, MailChimp, HubSpot, whatever. I use Amazon SES, and it tells me exactly what's going on with my list, how many emails I've sent in the last 10 days. I've sent 42,000 emails, and what's the bounce rate? Is the bounce rate healthy? Is the complaint rate healthy? So you'll notice here that Amazon here has some very strict limits. 0.01% is what the complaint rate's supposed to be below. So I'm about half of that, a little bit more than half of that. So far doing good. My bounce rate, they expect bounces to stay below 5%. Mine is 1/4%, so doing well there. Keeping an eye on things. Some things that you absolutely positively need to do, and if you haven't done this in a while, now would be a great time to do this. As of the day I'm recording this, we have 6 days left until the enforcement penalties for GDPR, the General Data Protection Regulation, take effect, one of which is making sure that you have permission to email all the people on your list. If you are not collecting bounced message notifications from when you send email, you absolutely positively need to be. And then you need to be extracting those messages to figure out why did something bounce. So in this case, this one here says this is an unroutable email address, which means that this address doesn't work. So I would need to unsubscribe that list. And whatever marketing software you're using, I, for example, use Mautic for my personal email list. You'll want to go in and make sure you upload your unsubscribes, your bounces, and mark them as do not contact. Do not email these people because it ain't going to work. That is a super important thing to do to make sure that you keep those nice green, healthy list numbers. So, number 1, don't accept crap. Number 2, clean out crap as it happens from your marketing automation system. And number 3 is a little bit more applicable if you have a larger list or you have an older list. You may want to look at email verification companies, especially if you're doing it for work, for a company system. I personally, on my personal email list, I'm not super concerned with aging out of lists and stuff, but you may want to do that. And the services you can use, there's a whole bunch of them. I'm trying out one right now, some British company called, I guess, Hub. I don't know how you pronounce the thing, but I'm going to try that out and see how they do. You get 100 credits free, so you can upload 100 email addresses a day and have it verify them to see how many are working, how many are not working. There's another service I've used in the past called Clearbit. You can find it at clearbit.com. They are a little more expensive. Actually, they're a lot more expensive. They're about 10 cents per email, but they help you also segment out your emails to say, like, these are the likely industries based on domain name of who's on your email list. So number 3 for larger commercial marketing operations is validate your existing list and make sure that it is fresh and up to date. Some of these services like Clearbit also do what's called data appending, where if you only have the email, you can get first name, last name, things like that appended back to your list to help you with your marketing automation. So this week, again, we're coming up on the enforcement date for GDPR. We are coming up on all sorts of privacy regulations and things in general. Make sure your email list is as clean as it can be by not accepting crap to begin with, by monitoring and removing crap, and then optionally, part 3, paying a service to verify the non-crap emails that may not be performing well. One other thing you may want to do is you may want to run a report on your marketing automation system. And if you have a whole bunch of email addresses that you've emailed, a good number of times, and they haven't even opened an email in 6 months or a year, maybe it's time to just unsubscribe them and clean that out and free up some space. If you are using commercial emailing services like, for example, Amazon, they charge you by the email. So if you've got non-performing emails on your list, you are paying essentially for nothing. So you may want to do that as well. Make it a 1-year time frame. Now, don't delete those emails. What you may want to do is you may want to feed them to an advertising system like Facebook audience custom audiences or Twitter custom audiences, where you can load email lists in, and it'll try and match those folks. And maybe you can use those dead emails, show ads to those dead emails as a way to try and get those people back. They may have changed emails, but if they've got old accounts like social media accounts tied to those old emails, it might be a way to get them back and get them to resubscribe under whatever their new email list is, email address is. So that's this week's Do Something With Your Marketing. Keep crap off your lists, clean them up, and validate them, and optionally remove the non-performers. Go and do something with your marketing.